Yo, what's good?
What's
What's
good?
good?
What's going on, man?
What's good, man?
I,
What's good?
all right, so I called you today, right?
Yeah.
I seen the Indonesian national team podcast, and it made me think of some stuff, right? So the first thing is, what do you compare it to? The level? Do you compare it to D1, D2? Comparatively, how do you compare the national team? Where do you see that if you was to play in the States, the college
Right.
level?
I mean, like it depends too, right? Because there's so many different levels. Like there's some really elite high school teams too, right? So like the Indonesian national team, I would say it's compared to D3. I would say D3 because there's some top D3 schools too that I
Right,
know
right,
of,
right.
And I would say like a D1 junior college is above that, obviously, right? So we're looking at somewhere in between low D2, D3, high D3s, probably.
I got you.
That's my estimate of Indonesian national team.
Right. So, like the last team you played on, if you was to play, let's say, a mid-major school, how would you guys do?
I would get smashed, in my opinion. I mean, it'd be tough because personnel wise, like we like bigs as well too. So like, yeah, we get out rebounded crazy. You know what I mean? It'd be tough. It'd be tough. We played.
Gotcha.
We played some. We played some like NBL teams, which is like the semi-pro in Australia. We struggled with them. We got beat by them. Who else did we play? We played some semi-pro teams. Lithuania
Right,
struggled.
right.
You know what I mean? And these are guys that like the Lithuania, bro. The Lithuania, like these are guys that work in the
Right, right,
daytime.
right.
Like, this is 9 to 5 guys. You know what I'm saying? This dude's construction, and he's got a scrimmage at 7 p.m. And these guys are
Right, right,
beating
right,
us.
right.
So like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
tough,
yeah.
man. Yeah. That's where
Um,
Indonesians is at.
okay. No, so I'm asking all that because it made me think of the Guam national team, and I was trying to compare the talent level, right? Because I remember practicing with Aspa, right?
Yeah.
Remember that when I
In
practiced with Aspa?
2003.
Yeah, back in the day, right? I got to Guam about late '03, 2004, basically, right? So, and I got to play against the Guam national team several times throughout my tour there, right? Throughout my 3 years in Guam. And back then, I would say ASPAC was at a higher level, right? I mean, we was beating the Guam national team, like their actual national team, not like, you know, a
When you
couple
say
guys.
you as in the Navy team, right?
Like, yeah, regardless, if I played for a Guam team that we put together, like a little semi-pro team or something, commercial team, and some Navy cats was on there, and then or I just had a Navy team, right? And then kind of like what you said about Lithuania, some of these Navy guys played college ball, JUCO,
Right. Right.
D1, et cetera, right? And we had some big guys. We had guys that was like 6'7", right? So we would beat the Guam national team on the regular. We even beat them on their own tournament, right? But
Right.
what's crazy is right now they're like at a high elite level, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to the Guam national team. Shout out to EJ Calvo, right? I
For
think this
real.
was in Gunjan. So when we were playing them, he was on the team, EJ Calvo. The guy that coaches them now was on the team. And he took that team from like getting beat by like commercial teams or Navy teams. No, just like I said, some Navy. We had a talented group. We had a decent team. Right? Losing, he took that team from that to now he's trying to get in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like now he's in the Pool A with Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines. His team played against China, Japan, Korea. They beat Syria. They beat Thailand. They beat Mongolia. They beat a bunch of stuff, right? So when I got there, they won like just like a couple months before I got there, they won silver medal at this thing called the Pacific Games. Pretty much is like Fiji, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, right? That
Yeah.
was like the biggest medal that they've ever received, and they was very proud of that, right? And those are the guys we played. And now they're on a high level, right? So EJ Calvo or the Guam national team, they need to be studied, right? So how do you think like they surpass Indonesia in terms of, is it talent? Is it system thing, or is it just the whole thing in general? Like,
Well,
what do you
I think the guy that runs it, right? First of all, he had played on it and he had the will to change his program quickly, right? And the
right,
resources. I mean, like Guam's a small island. It's a tiny island in comparison to like these Asian countries, Indonesia, it's a tiny island.
right,
But
right.
like
So to put things in perspective, yeah,
he's taking
no,
like the resources of like Guamanian Americans, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
Guamanians that have some American heritage. He's comprising a team that has a lot of those elements in it, a lot of those players in it, and he's handpicking the guys that have a good background as far as like they played somewhere, they played in college or whatnot, or pro, semi-pro, and that's why I think he's able to accelerate this process of growth for basketball in Guam. You know what I mean? They're able to compete against these big countries. And I think that's a channel that Indonesia definitely has to tap into again with the heritage players. Because if you tap into that resource, you have heritage players, meaning like Indonesian Americans or Indonesians abroad that played. This is going to accelerate your process, your growth process in terms of level of basketball. You know what I mean?
right, right.
So it's necessary. So that's what Guam did. So shout out to them, man.
Yeah, yeah. So to put things in perspective, when I was living there, I believe the island was 150,000 people.
That's crazy.
And then, they're playing China, billion, right? Japan, I don't know, 100 million plus. I'm not, I'm shooting from the hips. I don't know the exact statistics. The Philippines is 100 million plus, right? So 100 million, and they have 150,000 people. But like you said, so they're like Puerto Rico. They're America, right? American territory. So they get players that, yeah, the analogies, they're kind of similar to what you're saying about the heritage players, because you have American Indonesians, right? But so they get players that were either born in Guam or they lived in Guam and they become eligible in Guam, right? I mean, eligible for the Guam national team, right? So, but now he built a great program, and it's very interesting to see that and just try to compare. Like I said, man, when I practice with Aspak, so I got a kind of like a feel for the talent level in Indonesia. And then
Right.
when I got to Guam, I'm like, yo, Indo kill these people right now. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
And
But
that was 2003. So imagine how fast they turned that program around. When did your guy actually take hold of that program? Like what? What 2000 and what? 12, 15 maybe?
yo, I would say about maybe a little past that. I mean, maybe 10 years ago. I mean, he's been a part of it, right? He played
Right,
on
right.
it.
But
I'm
actually
pretty
had
sure,
decision making.
right? I really don't know the details because I've been following from afar. But I know like 7, 8 years ago, they started making moves. That's when they participated in like the Asian Cup qualifiers. They went to a tournament like in Thailand where they played, their first game was against Fiji, and I think they started playing like Malaysia and those other teams, and they was winning. So they moved up to level A.
Bro, I retired late 2018 and they weren't around yet. As far as I can remember, I never ran into Guam. They weren't around yet. 2018.
Yeah, they came
Like
out of
they
nowhere, man. They
Yeah,
came
that's what
out of
I'm
nowhere. Yeah.
saying. And it's that resource because a lot of the players they played maybe D1, D2. They played in the states. You know what I'm saying? They
Right,
played
right,
college
right.
ball in the states. So that's gold for them.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong too, right? They're local players, or born and raised in Guam. They're tough. They got a good competitive core there, but they're majority guards, right? So, they're getting their bigs. Well, they're from Guam, or they lived in Guam or whatever, but like their grassroots program, they're majority guards, right? So, but they have a decent program over there. They have a decent commercial league over there. They should What they should do for those guys that are like born in Guam, raised in Guam, and living in Guam, is send them on a JUCO pipeline, or like,
Yeah, I agree.
take their top players, develop some relationship with some junior college in Cali, especially San Diego. San Diego got a lot of them, right? And just send them there for a couple of years, and then they'll give them the experience, you know what I'm saying, to help them out with their international one. They got some hoopers, man. It's very interesting on how fast they accelerated, how fast they catapulted. That's the word, right?
Yeah.
They catapulted. They went from like, yo, I show you videos right now. They're playing Fiji, Papua New Guinea, right? And then the level
Yeah.
of basketball is not even close to when they're playing like China, Japan, etc.
Yeah.
I saw a video they're playing. So they played when I was there. They played in 2 tournaments. They played like in the Micronesian games where
Hmm.
they played against Northern Marianas Island. Pretty
Right.
much
Right.
Saipan is part of that. They played against a team like that, right? Chook Islands, and these guys are like the center's probably 6'1", man. Dead serious, dead serious. And then I saw them play in the Pacific game where the guys are a little bit bigger. I think Fiji, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, right? Then they're playing in that. And then they played like almost kind of like Southeast Asia in a sense when they first started out, because they were playing a lot of those teams. Like I told you, they beat Thailand, they beat Malaysia. And
Yep.
then boom, now they're with the big dog. If they qualify for the World Cup, it's crazy because they're not hosting, right? I know y'all
Right.
qualified, but y'all was hosting, right?
Right.
So
Right.
by kind of like by default or whatever. But
No,
they
they didn't
gotta
even qualify. So Indonesia hosted, but they weren't qualified to play in it. The World Cup, no.
they didn't play.
Nah,
I'm
bro.
tripping. Oh, that's right. So you went they didn't even play. That's crazy.
They just hosted. Yeah, they just got the bid to host, but they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah,
participate.
yeah. But nah, yo, EJ Calvo, he needs to be studied, man. Whatever he did over there, that's
And then
it's
look,
crazy.
Guam has a lot of ties to the Philippines too, right? As you know, like, and I've been to Guam too. I went to go visit you in Guam. That was
Right, right,
2005 or
right, right.
six. But like Guam has a lot of ties to the Philippines, and one of their best guards on the Guam national team, one of their best guards is actually he's got some Filipino blood, right?
No, he's Filipino. I think I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about where he's born. I don't want to speak on that because I don't know. I'm assuming he was born either
What's his
in
name?
Santana, Cruz, Jericho Cruz.
Jared Cruz.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. So I think he played for San Miguel, right?
that's right. That's right.
And
He plays in
he,
the PBA right now. Yep, you're
yeah, he
right.
plays in the PBA, right? So so I believe they got him playing in the PBA. They got a couple B League guys, right?
Okay,
They got a guard that plays in the B League, a shooter,
okay,
right? And he was born, I believe he was born and raised in Guam. He has like Japanese, he's like half Japanese. That's another thing about Guam. Like you said, Filipino ties, right? There's a big Filipino community. They're born and raised in Guam. So essentially, right? I mean, they're not necessarily Chamorros. That's what, just for y'all don't know, people from Guam are called Chamorros, right? So they're not necessarily, obviously they're not Chamorros, but they're eligible, they qualify, whatever. And there's a few cats on their team that are Filipino, right?
right.
Like Cruz. There was another Cruz that I used to play against. He's Filipino, but I don't think he plays anymore. His name is JP Cruz, but he also played with him. There's a couple guys. I'm pretty sure in their DNA they're Filipinos down the line
Right.
historically, right? If you would do some ancestry or whatever. But no, they got a big Filipino community. It's close proximity to the Philippines. It's like a 3-hour flight, same time zone. So almost the same climate, same weather, right? So yeah,
Right.
they got a big tie to that. So they probably talking about sending cats to JUCO. They could probably use the Philippines as a pipeline, right? As well, meaning like they get done with high school in Guam, send some cats to the Philippines to hoop,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
NCAA or the UAP over there, or even some of those colleges in the province, right? Like kind of like Cebu or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, they're doing their thing, man. Shout out to them, man. But who
And
you
then they
got?
play against the Philippines in what, in 2 days, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who you got?
I've still got the Philippines. They got a good roster. I think they got some really big goals for these for this FIBA Cups. It's gonna take a couple years for Guam. I think they can compete with any team in Asia for sure in the second half, maybe till the third, but I just don't think they're deep enough, you know what I mean? Against a team like the Philippines.
Right, right. I don't know. So I know they got a guy named Ty Wesley. He's one of their bigs. They got another guy, I think that is Galloway, one of their bigs.
Yeah, right.
I really don't know all their names, but they got some bigs, right? And they got Cruz, right? So he's one of their guards. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who they're bringing, but here's a good thing about Guam. Here's another thing that I think benefits them. They have continuity,
Uh,
right? It's almost like every year, it's always like the same guys. for
Right.
the past. They may rotate, like, you know, somebody may get old or something. They'll bring a younger guy in.
I noticed that.
Somebody might not be eligible. They'll bring somebody else in, but they got great continuity. And so that's another thing that they got going on. And I think Philippines is developing into something like that as well, that
Hmm.
they're keeping the same core like over the years and then getting that experience together. So I think one of Guam's biggest strength is they always have the same core and they're very familiar with each other. There's another player in there I forgot to mention. His name is Mark Johnson, right? 6'5" shooter.
Mm.
He's a wing, but he could probably, sometimes I see him bring the ball up. And I remember when he was a kid, when I was in Guam, we did a camp for him. And then just to see him out there hooping right now is crazy, right? So, but
Right.
it's gonna be interesting. I mean, obviously Kai's not playing, right? So Philippines is not full strength, right? It's gonna be competitive.
It's gonna be competitive. I think it's gonna be competitive, like up until the third is my prediction, and then I just don't think they have enough bodies. Guam does against the Philippines, and you know, Philippines has a solid roster too. In the, you know, in this game, you know, they got Dwight Ramos, they got Fajardo, they got Brownlee. Who else they got? Who else they got? Jay, what's the new guy
They
you were
got that new.
telling me
They got a
about?
new guy. They got a new guy.
Yeah.
His name is Quentin Malora Brown, right? So this guy, he actually played at the University of the Philippines and won a chip over there.
But where was
So,
he
but
at before that though?
yeah. So he's actually from Virginia.
Okay, so okay.
His team beat our local high school here. It's called Western Branch High School, like in my neighborhood. So his team beat that school in the championship. Then he went to Rice. Then from Rice, he played for Jerry Stackhouse and Vanderbilt, right? So he played 3 years with Vanderbilt, and then his last NCAA year he played at the Citadel. So
Okay.
he played like he had a COVID year, but he was hooping at the Citadel. He was like the man at the Citadel. And then when he got to the Philippines, he was still eligible for the UAP, and then he won a championship over there. And then he played for the Macau Black Bears, right? That's the
Yeah,
ABL
yeah,
team back in the days, right?
yeah.
EA itself. No, but no, he's gonna be a great addition. The dude is smart. He's like wicked smart, right?
Yeah.
Very intelligent, and I believe he's a quick learner. He'll probably pick up Tim Cohn's offense and defense quickly. But obviously, he has some legends. He has Aguilar, he has Fajardo and Edu in front of him. I'm not sure how they're going to use him. It'll be interesting when they play against Guam, and they got a Abrientos, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
great pickup, right? Because when I was watching the Philippines, I think Asia Cup, maybe Asia Cup, I think when it was in Saudi, I
Mhm.
felt like they needed a quick, true point guard, right? Like your quintessential point guard, right? Obviously, Scotty Thompson is like a converted point guard. He's more like a three, and he just
Right,
eventually
right.
became a two, then he became a
He's a
point guard.
do-it-all guy. He's like a
Yeah, yeah.
do-it-all.
Yo, he rebounds well.
Ace.
Yo,
Best rebounding highlights from a guard ever.
yo, like go to the PBA highlight reel. You see a power rebound from that dude. But he's good though.
Smack
He's
board.
good. He got
Smack
heart.
board hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who else they got? But yeah, Dwight. They got CJ Perez, right?
And
He's
they got
more like a
Newsome.
Newsome. That's their defensive stopper. You know, he's not a real he's another like he was playing the three in college,
Right,
right?
right.
When he was playing Ateneo and two, and so he runs the point as well. But nah, the Abrientos was a good pickup because he's a quintessential true point guard, right? So that was a great pickup. I think they so that's it. So they kept like the core. So they kind of rotate him. So Aftana, one of their shooters, is not playing. I'm not sure if he's injured or what. I have to look that up. They got another cat. Rosario got cut, or he didn't get picked up for this window.
Right.
Rosario, 6'7", power forward, slim though.
Yeah.
Like he's a 4 at 6'7". So they came up on the QMB guy. They call him QMB, Quentin Malora Brown, right? So that was
Yeah.
that's an upgrade from him in terms of height and strength. Who else got cut? Malonzo got cut. Malonzo didn't make it this time. He was healthy. They just felt they wanted to go a different direction. But like
Mhm.
they have a pool, they'll have their little training camp, and then depending on who they're playing, that's who Tim, how they want to match it. That's who Tim Cone playing. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because you're more familiar with FIBA than I am. After the Guam game, right, and he wants to make adjustments, he may be able to pick up some of those people and switch them up, right? Yeah. So they go to Guam, they win or lose or whatever. They go to the Philippines, he can actually switch them up, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's a 15-man.
And yeah, Aguilar is about Aguilar getting up there, man. He's not our age, but he's probably almost 40 or something.
Yeah,
Damn near.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for Aguilar, I understand why he picked them up still. He's still on the rosters because, like, a guy like that, he's never been a guy you're gonna give it to get a bucket. He's like a finisher, defend, rebound, and he still does all those things pretty well. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Even at his age, right?
that dude still got bounce.
He
That's
still got bounce. I mean,
that dude's still punching on people, man.
his
For real.
game is still what it was, 7 years ago. He's still doing the same job. So I get it. I get it in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives them like security in the bench, foul
Right.
trouble. You know what I'm
And he's
saying?
experienced too. So like
Yeah,
he's played in every big game. You know what I
yo,
mean?
I think he's been in every World Cup.
Exactly. So
I
he's
don't
seen it all.
was he on the 2014 World Cup? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he made it to Spain, but I believe he was in the 2021 when they were in China, and I believe he was in the I believe he may have been in the recent one. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. He an OG. So, but when Kai gets back, that's gonna probably bump him out, right?
Yeah.
Depending, right? So, but no, I think the Philippines put together a good program. I think
And this is a different roster too for their FIBA that they're gonna have for Sea Games, I believe. It's a whole different team in Sea Games coming up in December.
right. So when's the Sea Games?
December, I think 10th. I want to say the 10th. But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of college players for Sea Games. The last I've
So,
heard, but I'm not sure.
what's the rules? So you was talking about the other day. Hold on. So no naturalized players. So no Brownlee.
Well, initially it was like one naturalized player initially, but
Right.
what I'm reading, a lot of the comments that I got from on our feed is they took that away, so it's no more naturalized players. So I don't know. We'll wait to see what happens. A lot of people are complaining about like Thailand's changing the rules up last minute. So I don't know what exactly are the rules for that. But I know if
I like
either
the rules, man. I like the rules. It gives
yeah,
some
but
integrity.
the reason why I think they're strict on it too is, which I agree with, is because like, a couple years ago in Sea Games in Cambodia, I mean, it was like no limit. You could have
Yo,
like,
they went crazy. Yo,
yeah, it was like you
Cambodia
could
had a
have them.
deep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, damn, you don't have no rules at all. Like, what?
Yo,
What's going on
they
here?
had the South Bay Lakers, yo, and like two Cambodians from Long Beach, man. It's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Like, so the rules of the Sea Games is whoever hosts makes up the rules. Like, that's the rules. So you know what I mean. Wherever you're at, whoever's hosting could say, hey, you know what? And the next thing you know, you got the Lakers.
So the Sea Games in Thailand.
Yeah.
All right. So is Moses Morgan playing? Is that his
Moses
name?
Morgan. I'm pretty sure Moses is playing. Freddie's playing. I don't
What
know
is it?
about
Freddie Lish?
Tyler.
They call him Freddie Lish?
Yeah, Freddie's playing for sure. I don't know about Tyler Lamb. I'm not sure if he's playing or not.
Yo, is he in the B League?
Tyler?
Lamb? Yeah.
Last I heard, he was in the B League. Yeah, I think he's
Is he
still out
hooping?
there.
He
I don't know.
balled?
I haven't looked, but I mean, Tyler could go though. You know what I mean?
All right. Hold
Played
on real
against
quick.
Tyler many times.
So Moses is a local. Like,
Moses is also playing in the B League, if I'm not mistaken. He's in the B League. Yeah,
going back to
yeah.
Guam, man, that's another thing that they could pop. I don't know if they're eligible for the B League in terms of Guam. I know they got cats in the B League, right? That's playing as imports or Asian heritage, because like one of their players is half Japanese. They got to do I don't
I
know
think
if
they
like
qualify. I would say they qualify.
that's another one that they could probably use as a pipeline to help their program out, right? And then also their players gonna get exposure and get money, right?
Right.
So there's actually a career opportunity for
Nah,
them.
they came up quick, man. And then them being in the Asian region now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So going back to Thailand. Okay, so is Moses Morgan playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
You said Freddie's playing. They got a big dude. They got a big, right?
Yeah, so he was born in Thailand, from what I know. I forgot his name, but he was born in Thailand. He's young. That's a young dude.
They got another cat that I'm forgetting about because they got about five Americans on there,
Yeah,
man.
no, they got a couple. So they've been tapping into the heritage market too. So they got a couple guys. There's actually a lot of Thai Americans that hoop out here, and I know they're gonna start. I do communicate with Thailand a little bit, so I know what they are doing. They are tapping into their heritage market in here in the states. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Thailand, there's a lot of players, man, here in the states.
Yo, I know a guy. Played D1 for the Navy. I was his assistant coach when he played for the Navy Academy Prep. His name is John Carter. Yo, look him up. Half Thai, half black, right? He's a
Yep.
Marine officer right now. He also played for like the all Marine team. Then he played for the all Armed Forces team that competed in Europe.
Right,
If he
right,
gets out the Navy, or no, I'm tripping. If he gets out the Marine, because he's a Marine officer, if he gets out the Marine and during his 6 years, I think he has a 6 year obligation. He could probably play a Thai. He could
right.
probably play in Thailand for the pro team. He can probably play in the B League,
Mm.
right? Because
Yeah,
they
for
take
sure, for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
He can play. He could that boy can go, man.
And then
Shooter.
look, and let's put like there's more Thai Americans than there are Indonesian Americans that hoop. Way more. That's just what it is. There's probably more. I got to look at the numbers, but I would bet money on it that there's more Thais in America than there are Indonesians in America. I bet money on it.
No, no, of course. Yeah, yeah. So
So like there's a
and
pool for Thai basketball to actually get all these players. And I know a lot of them. I actually know, some Thai American hoopers that can go. Yeah, man. Indonesia better they gotta get their shit together for real.
they got you, right? They got you. So they need to
They gotta
tap in. They got
they gotta start
resources.
listening for real. These,
Yeah.
hey, there's a term in Indonesia, man. It's called sotau, which means we know it. We already know it. Like we know it all already. And that's embedded in their culture, but
How do they
that's
use
it's,
that term? Like, for example,
there
like,
there there's no American term for
the
that. There's no
there's
American
a
term for that.
yeah. I sent
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like, nah, we good. And like, and then somebody would be like, sotau, like, oh, this dude thinks he knows.
okay.
Yeah, but it's a term that they have in their culture that we don't have here, like "soltao," just one word for it, and it's just like it's so who they are. They really think they know what they're doing. It's embedded in their DNA, which is a crutch to them. It's you know what I mean? But it is
Yeah,
what
I
it is.
mean, they'll I mean, if they're smart, they're smart, right? They'll listen to you. They'll listen to your
Yeah, for
guidance.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. And then everything is gonna work out. I think I seen some of your players. I seen some Indonesians out here, and definitely they're playing out here. They're developing out
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
They're learning out here, and they definitely can add value to the Indonesian
100%,
national team or the
100%.
pro team. But check this out though. The another good pipe like another good pipeline for them is the B League. I'm a big Japanese B League fan, right? I think that's one of the best leagues in the world. I'm not saying necessarily the most talented but I'm just saying in terms of how it's ran, how organized it is,
Absolutely,
and then the
100%.
type of money y'all gonna get over there. The
I
guys
agree.
that you have, yeah, in due time, I see them playing in the B League. And
Of course.
they got three divisions, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah, they gonna
absolutely.
your guys are gonna make money, man. Hey, shout
No,
out to
I'm
Roll
I'm
Academy, man.
definitely I
Y'all gonna make
I'm
money.
definitely pushing all my guys at Royal Academy, my heritage players. I'm pushing them all towards the B League first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anything above that first, but like Asia wise, yeah, B League is a great option. And then if Indonesia, feels the need to use their services, then which they should, then absolutely Indonesia would be an option.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so let's go back to the Sea Games. No naturalized. Just like you okay, so what if you're like you're not considered a local, but you have a passport? What's the rules over there, man?
If you it's Thailand set the rules. That's the thing that we don't know about. A lot of people are saying that I'm reading is they're changing the rules, right? First it was one naturalized. Now they're saying none. I don't know what's
Oh,
true
they
or not.
just take that they go?
Yeah, because again, the host country is the one who determines what the rules are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's fine. Like you said, the funny thing is, like, we was watching it a couple years ago. It was a free for all, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it,
it was Cambodia. Did Cambodia get to the finals?
yeah, they did. I believe they did. I
Yeah,
believe they did.
Cambodia.
They lost to the Philippines. Yeah, yeah. Cambodia, that like you don't even think about them as a basketball country. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
No, I don't think anyone did. You know what I mean?
yeah, but yeah, but they got some hoopers though, because I used to live in Long Beach, and there's a big Cambodian community, and they was hooping, and they
I
were
know.
in middle school. They were big. I don't know if they
Yeah, yeah. No,
you know what I'm saying?
I ran into a couple Cambodians in my life like that could go, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's
yeah,
real.
man.
That's real. Hey, but shout out to my Filipinos though, bro. I got a soft spot. I got a soft spot for my Filipinos, man. Because I mean, I used to hoop in the Filipino leagues out here in Chicago, and we used to do the inner city joint where we used to travel, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
ran it
No, no. So
back in early 2000s. We ran that, bro.
yeah, yeah, they
Shout
got
out
a
to
big.
Chicago Philams, man. They know who they are.
Yo, they got tournaments here in Virginia like yearly, maybe twice a year. Big tournaments, yo. Like they
Yeah,
host them at the
yeah,
Boo. I played in one, the Boo Williams. You run into like ex PBA players there. You
yeah.
run into it's like a mix. Some cats already left the Philippines and they're back here,
Right.
and then some cats they're trying to make it to the Philippines. But they have a organized program where they tap into the Filipino American talent, right? They, obviously California is big with it, that type. So nah, Philippines is they're I think so. This pool, right? Australia, New Zealand, and Guam. Obviously, I lived in Guam for 3 years, and I'm always rooting for them, right? And I know some of them, right? But the Philippines, Australia and the Philippines are probably the favorite for Pool A, like for the World Cup qualifiers, right? And I don't even know if I don't even know during that time frame, that window or whatever they
Yeah.
call it, if Australia is gonna have their A team. You know what I'm
They're not
saying?
gonna. I don't think they're gonna have their A team, but
So the
they're
Philippines
still gonna
made
have a tough team.
they do they do
Yeah,
you
they got
and
bodies.
I'm not trying to get off topic, but where do you rank them in the world? Top 3?
Top five for sure.
Australia?
That 3, 4, 5. They can go up and down on that 3, 4, 5 right there, but they're always in that slot, in my opinion. For that, at
Yeah,
least for the
yeah, yeah.
past,
I
10
mean,
years,
everybody's in
bro.
the NBA. They got a gang of NBA and NCAA talent.
They got guys that haven't even played yet on their roster yet. You know what I mean?
Alright, so Euroleague. So how about leagues, right? NBA, Euroleague, NBL? That's how you see it?
That's how I rank it. NBA being the most talented, EuroLeague second as far as like talent in competitive games, and NBL Australia is right there number 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Saw a highlight of JaVale McGee going crazy down there.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's
Yeah,
doing
he's
his
going
thing
crazy,
down there.
man.
Yeah, he could still go, man. He could still go.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. Who else is over there, man? Who else is down there? Some cats that kind of went back. Where's Patty Mills at? He still hooping?
I don't know if he's in the league. I see him training
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
guy
yeah.
DJ Sackman's Instagram. I see it, but I don't know where he's at. But he's Australian. He's
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
his thing. He's still working out.
Going back to Guam, it's gonna be crazy to see them against Australia.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be. I think they may be able to beat New Zealand.
I don't know. New Zealand, hey, New Zealand depends though. Depends. New
They hit
Zealand's
or miss.
solid.
New Zealand's hit or miss, man. I've seen them really good, and I've seen them like
Yeah.
yeah.
They're always gonna be solid though. You know what I mean? They're always gonna be solid. So yeah, I think New Zealand's they're tough, man.
They may sneak one from New Zealand. I think the Philippines could beat Guam, New Zealand, and like this version of Australia. If they get Kai healthy, right? If they get Kai Soda back healthy,
Sure.
they can sneak. They can sneak some. They can sneak like a game from the Australians or whatever.
No,
But
I agree.
because
I
it's not
agree.
obviously it's not Australia's top team, but they still dominated Asia Cup, did they? Did they?
Yeah, they did. They
Was
did.
they a
Man,
B team or C team?
one thing about Australia, man, those guys, they can play. They're well coached. They understand how to. It's almost like they play an American style of game without the athleticism. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they're
they got some
they're
athletes though. They got some
yeah, they do
athletes.
got some athletes, but it's like what I'm talking about is like they're fundamentally sound. And that's at the grassroots. That started at the grassroots level for them because I seen it, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
a lot of good coaches down there, a lot of good coaches. They teach good basketball, man. And I think that's why they're, top 5 in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, actually, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think Sudan, their national team, benefits from Australia because I believe a lot of them come from the Australian program, right? Like a lot of them was raised in Australia and played in Australia. There's a lot of South Sudanese in the NBL, right?
Yeah.
And they were it was raised there and stuff like that. So, but no, that's cool, man.
And
So
it
who you
helps
get? You say
their
you got
it expands their like athleticism too. No other country is like America as far as athletic ability in basketball. It's just not going to encounter that. That's why even guards or players that aren't that athletic in America understands how to play very, very well against all growing up against all these athletic people. You know what I mean?
right, right,
With
right,
IQ.
right.
So it's a different dynamic than any other country. What America gives you. You know what I mean? Like me, for example. Like I'm a little guard. I was never that athletic, but my environment. I'm going up against the most athletic, quickest people with basketball IQ. So how do you adapt to that, right? At a young
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
So it kind of molds you into a different type of player. And that's why you see all these EuroLeague guards, American guards, right? That are
Right, right.
crafty as heck. Like them dudes can go. So it's man, America's different, man.
No, no, it's I don't care what nobody says. It's still the best talent in the world. It's still the best league in the world. It's still the best. It's
100.
just the best. I don't need. There's all these talk like this ain't working. This ain't working. You know, use fourth is broke or AU is broke. Blase, blase. But if you look at the results, just look at the results, right? The
100%.
results speak for itself. Look at all the 17 and under, 19 and under. Look at all the international tournaments. Our kids are still winning them, right?
We have, yeah,
Yeah.
we have the
What we
best. We have the best facilities. We have the best coaching. I don't care how. I know a lot of European coaches are good and they think they're the best in the world, but don't get it messed up. NCAA basketball. You go watch college basketball right now, and I could name you 50 amazing, probably some of the best coaches in the world at the college basketball level right
Right, right.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like the world don't understand that. Don't get it messed up. Like this is still the best basketball in the world.
Yeah, it is. I think it's fair to say we need to sustain it, but it's not fair to say that we fall off, right? Let's just look at all the Olympics we won, regardless of the margin of the score, but still we haven't lost since 2004, right? In the Olympic. And just look at all the FIBA tournaments that we won in all type of different age group categories. We're still dominating. And I believe it's the NCAA. Our AU program gets a lot of criticism, right? But
Understandably, but
you get a lot of game repetition, right? Maybe you can talk about the quality or whatever, but you get a lot of game reps. You'll go to a tournament, you'll play 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that weekend, right? Or you're gonna get reps and it's gonna be like weekly. So the repetition matters, you develop instincts, and you could watch some AU games. They're doing it now. They're bringing like teams from Serbia playing against our top
yeah,
AU
yeah,
teams, and our top AU teams are still beating them, right?
yeah,
And
100%.
all these countries are great. Serbia's great. Obviously, they got great talent. Australia's great. They got great talent, but they're not messing with what we have now. Are they catching up? Yes. Do we need to sustain our superior performance? We got to figure that out, right? And if it's but we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
No,
We
no.
don't want to break anything that we don't want to fix nothing that's not broke. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, the world is catching up. I mean, that's undeniable. You know what I mean? But a lot of the world, where do they learn? Where do they catch up? They come here, whether it's player development, whether it's coaching development, understanding how to build a state of the art facility and then bring it back to wherever they're from. They learn that from here. They learn the mentality aspect of being a player and a coach. They learn that here, and they bring it
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
wherever they're from. You know what I mean?
I think playing in different places or whatever, the intensity in America is just like no other. Like how hard we practice, the intensity, right?
Think about this. Where on earth can you and I or anyone, any adult, say 25-year-old, just walk into any gym, most gyms, and be like, I need a good challenging run? Can you do that anywhere around the world? No. In America, you go to any gym, you just Google a gym like, oh, where they running
Yeah,
at?
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up and you're gonna get tested. It's gonna
Yeah, yeah.
be competitive for you. You know what I mean?
No, we got yeah, there's over 300 million of us, right? And basketball is embedded in our culture, right? In
Yeah,
America.
100%.
You go to the rec center over here, they got hoopers. I mean, they got hoopers. You know,
Right.
cats that play high school, maybe a little bit of college, and now they're just and then you go to the Y, believe it or not, on a Sunday around 3, they got hoopers, right?
I
Better
believe
runs
it.
than some, so but now we still got we still doing our thing, man. I'm not worried at all.
Right.
2028 in the Olympics, Wembayama, that's probably gonna be your biggest threat, France, right? But we'll see what happens. We'll
Exactly.
see
We'll
what
see what
happens.
happens, man. I'm not
We'll see
betting
what happens.
against the US, man. I'm not betting
Nah,
against
never, never. But, yeah, what else, man? What's going
Yeah,
on?
man. Hey,
What else?
hey man. I want to talk about that summer, man, that we had. We was 18, me and you. We were 18 years old. Our summer of finding ourselves. I was recovering from a bad ankle injury. 18 years old. We were both
Yeah, yeah, okay,
18.
okay. So,
And
okay,
we took a road trip.
yeah, yeah,
We
no,
took a
no,
road
I think
trip.
that's how yeah, this how it started. I was in Oregon, played JUCO over there, right, Shemeketa, and played 1 year, and I wasn't really feeling Oregon, right? I was living in Salem, or I wasn't really feeling it, and I was like, "Yo, I need to transfer," so I hit you up, and you just got done playing for Purdue Fort Wayne, right?
Um,
Purdue Fort Wayne. So you got done playing for Purdue Fort Wayne. I was like, "Yo, bro, what's up, man? Man, I'm trying to transfer." You was like, "Me too," right? But you didn't really give me you like, "Me too, man. Get me out of here," right? And I was like, "Yo, let's go to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, and let's just live there for the summer and let's just chill. Like, it's gonna be on the beach, because you're
I had
coming
to
from
recover.
Indiana."
I was recovering from
Yeah,
my
yeah,
injury.
yeah, yeah. You was coming from Indiana. You was in Indiana. I like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go back to Indiana, and then we're gonna drive down to Myrtle Beach. You know what I'm saying? That's how it started, right? So it was
So we rented a car and drove
yeah, yeah.
from Indiana
So yeah,
all the
yeah,
way to South Carolina. All right, just me and you. And I remember this is like one of the things
bro.
I will never
How do we
forget.
get gas money, bro? How do we get gas money? I'm still
We,
trying to figure out
hey, me
how
and
do
you
we,
were dead broke, bro. We was dead broke, 18-year-old
yo,
kids.
how did we get gas money and food money? But I don't even know what type of money we had. Did I have a credit card or something from
I
college or
don't even
something?
remember. I definitely didn't have a credit card, bro. No, I don't
Yeah.
think you had a credit card. Hell no. I
No,
definitely
cause
didn't have a
no,
credit card.
yo, no, I had to. I was probably maxing out credit. Yo, so no income, bro. And
Nah, not zero.
my mom would give me no like I don't even know how we but yeah, so yo, somebody hooked us up though. Did somebody rent the car for us? It was a
Yeah, it was
female.
it was it was one of my cousins. She rented a car for us in Indiana. She was going to
Did she
school at
rent it or
Indiana
she paid for
University.
it?
I don't even remember. She got us the car, right? We was too young. We didn't know what was going on, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
needed a car. So
Did I
we got the
drive the whole
car.
time or did we switch up?
No, we switched up. We drove. I think we switched up. We had to
Okay.
switch up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So all right. So we started driving from Indiana to South Carolina. All right. So we driving. We what route we take? Do we 65? I'm assuming. Gotta
Yeah,
be.
yeah. So we went down through Kentucky, through Tennessee, Kentucky, Tennessee, and cut
You know what?
across to North Carolina, I think, or Georgia. Was it Georgia?
Nah, nah, it wasn't Georgia. Because
So it had to be
Georgia,
North Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina.
yeah. I mean, I don't remember the route. I'm not gonna lie. But I do remember South Carolina. I do remember South Carolina. I do remember going to, I think we got to some place in South Carolina and we were driving nonstop. Like there wasn't no like we're gonna sleep here. We like it was already like 2 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So we got to some country town in South Carolina, 2 in the morning, right? We pulled up and or we was just driving. I was like, yo, I'm hungry. Somebody got hungry, right? And let's stop at the Waffle House, right? All
No,
right.
so
So
we got gas first, bro.
then
We
we
hit the gas station. All right, it was in the middle of the night. We're talking about like 2 a.m.
yeah,
Pitch
it's about two
black.
in the morning. It's about 2 in the morning for sure.
We pull off the
Maybe a little bit past that, but yeah.
so we pull off the highway, 2 a.m., bro, and we're looking for gas. And we see a gas station. And we get gas. And I remember we walked in the gas station and you was like, where can we eat around here? And then we looked across the street. There was one Waffle House in the middle of nowhere. And I already had a bad feeling. I was like, man, nah, I'm good. I'll wait. And he was like, no, let's go in there. And I said, all right, man, let's go in there. So we parked just across the street. It was the Waffle House. Soon as we walk in, it was almost like everyone stopped. Everyone behind
Yeah,
the
it was
counter
so
that was
deep.
working there just looked at us and stared at us for a second to where it was an uncomfortable stare. And we were like,
No,
damn,
it was like older females, three
yeah,
older females, all three white females, right? Just
yeah.
to not that it's gonna matter because of the story, right? So three older white ladies, and it was empty, and it was you and me, and it was like they were just staring at us like we weren't supposed to be there, and it was eerie. But I was like young and like cocky or whatever, you know what I'm
Yeah, for
saying?
sure. Me too.
And then they were like, "Yo, you sure want to eat here?" And you was kind of like, you kind of looked like,
Yeah, I seen the red flags from the jump. If you're like, so we
"Not
sat
me."
at the bar, and I'm like, I don't think we're welcome here. I got the feeling from the jump.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. Now we eating here." And she was like, "You sure you're gonna eat here?" Like, "Yeah, we eating here. We eating here." And
And then
then,
I
yeah,
remember, soon as we sat down, after she asked us what we wanted,
yeah,
soon as
yeah,
we sat down, I looked up and I seen one of them on the phone. Right, she was on the phone, and when she was on the phone, she was looking at us while she was speaking on the phone.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
like whispering, and I was like, that's weird. You know what I mean? What's going on here? And then about what? You say about 5, 10 minutes later? Between 5
man,
to
like,
10 minutes later.
yeah, yo, it's not even that. Maybe, yeah, not 10, about five, between 5 to 10 minutes, because we didn't even, Waffle House make their food quick, right? Probably had an all-star special, you know what I'm saying, like bacon extra crispy, whatever, and they make it quick. I probably ordered all-star special. That's my go-to, even from back in the late '90s when this is the time frame, right? So it went quick, and then next thing they were just like, "Y'all shouldn't be here." They just kept giving us that look, "Y'all do not need to be here." And I was missing all the signs, right? Because I'm thinking like, "Man, ain't not gonna
I was catching all the signs, all the
like
signs.
no, no." And then it wasn't until like you could see their body language change. They was like, "Yo, the Doobie Brothers are here," something like that, right? The
Yeah,
Doobie Brothers.
yeah.
Big old pickup truck pulls up, like your stereotypical like you know redneck pickup truck
Down
with a
south,
shotgun. Yeah, yeah.
shotgun on the window,
And then
and
these two big, like six
three,
foot.
bro. There was three dudes. I remember
I
three dudes.
I remember two for sure. I remember two because they walked in and they just like mean mugged us. Like they walked in like and then they just looked at me like this and they were big, like with the spider web tats. Like they just got
Bro,
out of prison, like and it was just they positioned themselves like in the corner facing us. Like all the places they could have sat, they positioned themselves like right in the corner and they were still staring at me. And I was like, yo, it's time to, yo, yeah, let's get it to go. I was like, yo,
so
let's get this food to go, right?
hey, so me and you, we were sitting at the bar. We were sitting in the
Yeah,
bar, right?
yeah, yeah,
And after she got off the phone, I hear the little ding ding on the door in the entrance. So automatically we look to our left to see who walks in the door. And all I remember was the three biggest grown men walk in the
Yeah,
door
they
and
were big,
stared
man.
right at us. As soon as they walked in, they didn't take their eyes off us, and they sat down in a
Yeah.
position where they were facing us and did not take their eyes off us the
Yeah.
whole time.
So I'm
And we're
sitting in the bar
kids.
like this. You're on my right. You're on my right. You're like right here. And I'm like, yeah, man, we staying. Like, I'm like, yo, leave. Nah, we eating here. Cause we driving, right? I'm trying to chill. Like, nah, we eating here. And she was like, are you sure you want to eat here? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna eat here. And then you was like, hey, I don't know, man. You know, you was like,
I was
I don't
like,
know.
nah, I was like, let's get up out of here.
Yeah, I was like, nah, we're eating. We're eating. We're good. We good. And then they was like, are you sure you want to be here? And then they was like, the Doobie Brothers are coming. They weren't telling us that. They were telling each other that, right? They was like, the Doobie Brothers are coming. I'm like, what the hell is a Doobie Brother?
Yeah.
And I was like I said, I was like mad cocky with it. Like, I'm not scared of nothing, right? You know, that type of mentality. And then ding, right? Like you said, like the little bell. And I looked this way and I seen them. They came, it was in slow mo, like
Slow
slow
motion.
motion.
Slow
Huh?
motion. Slow motion.
Like the way I remember it was like slow motion and they were just looking at me like this. And just grilling me like, and then look and looking at you, and then they're just grilling. And bro, I don't know, like I don't know why I only remember two, but I remember two of them. And it's like, yo, it was like a they had like the platter joint and it's cut off, and then they
Cut
was just
off.
brolic. They was brolic, man. And then the whole time it's slow motion, they walking this way and they just staring at us and like they wanted to kill us, right? So
Yeah, like they was about to take us and hang us at that
yeah,
time.
yeah. And you know, I don't know. I was like, yo, it's time to go. And then
Bro,
that's when I'm like, all
I've
right, let's get
watched
let's
too many movies, and I know how this ends, and that's what was going on in my head.
yeah,
I
yo,
was
they
like,
were in the
ah,
corner just staring at us like they wanted to like he was just like I'm like, damn. And then there's nobody there. It's the ladies and them and
and
then
then
us. All right. So
I've
when we
never
get
been
out
to South Carolina before. That was my
and
first
then
time, so I'm like, damn, this start welcome.
yeah, yeah. And then back then we would hear all the stories, right? And
Yeah,
obviously, you know, all that stuff, right? And then we hear all those stories and, you know, you kind of just like, whatever, right? It's all like this, that, and the other. But I felt it. Like, I felt like it's crazy. The crazy energy was like you could feel it. Like you could feel them. They really wanted to hurt us, right? They
one
wanted to
hundred
do
percent,
whatever.
100%.
So the crazy part is when we get our food to go, all right, boom, boom, right? We about to go. And then I got on like a white beater and basketball shorts, right? And like probably like flip
Me
flops,
too.
right?
We
Yeah,
both
yeah.
had white beaters on.
And then these people, like, yeah. And then I was like, as soon as they turned around, like it felt like an angel, like shining.
100% an angel.
Yo, it was like shining lights. This brother walking, in, like you know what I'm saying. This brother walks in, and then I was like, yo, it's so good to see you. That's how I felt. Like, yo, it's so good to see you. And then I was like, and then we tried to tip him off, right? We was like, hey, be careful, man. On the way out, like when I seen him, it was like he was like an angel. He comes in and it was like bright lights. It was crazy. And he just come in and then like this friendly, like
Bro, I remember the first thing I was thinking about when we sat down with him. I was like, bro,
now I,
are
remember,
you do you
I
see
feel
these
like
dudes? Like, are you seeing these guys too? Like, like
yeah,
how we
no,
see them?
he said that, but I feel like I don't remember sitting down with him. I remember grabbing my food and then turning and then he comes in and I was like, I've never been so happy to see another person in my life. Like he came in like an angel for real. And you know what I'm saying? Like he was supposed to save us. That's what it looked like. That's how I felt like. I felt like we had some help, right? Cause you know, people was about to, but and then I was like, yo, we try to warn him, like, yo, you gotta get out of here, man. I don't think you want to be here. And he
But
was
he
like
he
calm. He
he
was
was
like,
super calm.
no, he was like, it's like that around. He goes, it's like that around here. I know it is. He hit it was like, it's like that around here. I'm just like, all right, man.
And
And
us at 18, we were how were we supposed to take that advice? We were like, it's like that around here. We've never been down here. And
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
so calm. I'm
And
looking at
then,
him like, well, why are you so calm if it's like that
bro,
down here? Because these
yeah,
dudes looking at us like they trying to, you know what I'm saying, murder us. Like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah. I felt like he was safe though. But sooner, because he was an angel or something like St. Michael's or something. As soon as
Straight
but
up.
we dipped out quick, and then I'm speeding, bro. I'm
Bro, we
speeding.
we almost we almost
Yeah.
we almost just went off the road because you was speeding and I was sitting there like, yo, these dudes are right behind us in my head. But we almost went off the road in the middle of the night, man. In the middle of
You
South
wanna know
Carolina somewhere.
you wanna know what's crazy, man? I'm hard headed, man, because that was it didn't happen like that. That one I felt the threat. I felt the threat. Like I felt the threat.
Percent.
Right. And like I felt the threat. And then
Bro, we
yeah.
was 18. These dudes was grown, bro. Looked like they had some prison time too. Basically, and the message was, y'all ain't welcome down here. That's what the message was.
Yeah, I'm saying, why you staring at me at 2 in the morning like you wanna fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Nah, they
chilling,
didn't
I'm just
want to
trying to
fight. They
and
they
it's
didn't
probably
want to
like
fight,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I was like, I'm just trying to get some all-star special, man, and get to Myrtle Beach.
Then I was mad at you because I was like, man, I told you, man, we
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
why
just
that Waffle
dipped out.
House, bro?
No,
This
no,
the scene
check
was
this out.
like a scene of a serial killer's environment. Like we could have
Yeah,
waited till we got to Myrtle Beach, bro. I would have
yeah, like,
waited. I ain't that hungry.
if we didn't it was crazy. If we didn't get our food to go and then that brother didn't show up, I don't know what would happen. I mean,
We would have
and
been
I would've
dead.
yeah. I don't know. I think I would've I I think we've been I don't know, it was an unnecessary risk for sure, but you know what's crazy, bro? Like, real talk, for real. That was the second time that happened to me that summer, but not that intense, not that intense. When I left Oregon, my teammate Sadat Montgomery, right? Shout out to Sadat. He's in Texas. He's a lawyer in Texas now. He's like the cowboy. He calls himself the what's he call himself? He's doing this thing. He played in Houston. He played at Prairie View, A&M
Yeah,
after he left
yeah.
Rico, right? But me and Sadat took a road trip from Oregon to Denver. So from Salem, Oregon to where we were at to Denver. And he had a Volkswagen. It was a Jetta, right? And and we're gonna go nonstop. So it's probably over 24-hour drive for real. So we're driving or whatever. And I think it's Wyoming. When we got to Wyoming, yeah, it was because we got gas in Boise. Then so Oregon, Idaho, I don't know what the next state is. I think it's Montana, or we could have cut down to Utah. I forgot. But anyways, when I got to Wyoming, when we got to Wyoming, I was the one driving. I'm flying. He's taking a nap. He was like, "Yo, don't speed too much." But I was still flying, man, because I don't think they had any speed limit there, and I was just flying. And then I got hungry. I'm like, "Yo, Dot, let's go get some food, man." And he was like, "I'm not stopping here." You know what I'm saying? Like Sadat, like he's from Chicago. Well, he's from Denver, but he kind of go back and forth from Chicago, and he's kind of, you don't want to be in that. He don't want to be in that environment, right? And I'm like, "What's the big deal, man? We're gonna get some food." But it's daylight. The difference between Wyoming and South Carolina, we was there at 2 in the morning. This is daylight, bro. This is like breakfast time. And we pull up, we walk into this like cowboy restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm ambiguous looking, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I could pass for different type of ethnicity. Sadat, he's black, right? So everybody just staring at us, staring at him. And he was pissed. He was mad. He was so mad at me. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Why you pulling it? I told you not to stop by." Like those,
That's
like
a
the
pattern,
danger.
bro.
Yeah, the danger sense like doesn't cross my mind like other people, if that makes any sense, right? Like, but the whole place, they weren't as threatening. They were like older white folks, like cowboys or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
like type of vibe. But they were all just staring at us like a Western movie when you walk into the saloon. But it wasn't like that South Carolina threat, like, you know what I'm saying? But I remember him being so mad at me, and I was just laughing the whole drive like it was funny. And then we do it again. I do it again, and now I bring you into it, and you're pissed off. But man,
Yeah.
bro, I was, that little when you exit something, we almost back in South Carolina, we almost fell off that joint, and then
You was swerving.
and I was eating my food too. I had it in my lap. I was like,
You was
eating the
going like
bacon.
60 in a turn, bro. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
we
yeah, and,
dead, bro."
yeah, almost, yeah, but nah, that was crazy, man. Nah,
We were,
that was a
hey, we was looking back like they was in a truck right behind us.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I felt like they
I
did
didn't
though,
either. Shit, I was
bro.
like, "We got to get the hell out of here."
I felt like they followed us. Like I felt like
I
in
did
my
too,
head, like you know what I'm saying?
bro.
Yeah, yeah, that was
I never been so mad though. I was like, "Nah, I told your ass, bro. Nah, we gonna eat right here." I'm like, "Why?" I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
it.
So yeah, this I like I do so I don't know why I don't know why like those type of things don't register in my head like there's a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
one
no,
time
you
I'll
better
tell
at it now. You better at it now. But back then, 18-year-old you,
nah
18-year-old
man.
us, I was like, "Yo, the
I'll
hell
tell you
you
another
doing?"
yeah, I'll tell you another story. Seth D. It's Seth Debro, right? The homie. So the old homie, right? Um we went to San Diego, right? San Diego. We was chilling in San Diego. We was gonna go from San Diego. I think we linked up with you if I'm not tripping, but it may be a different year. We was gonna go from San Diego, then we kicked it in LA, then went to Vegas, right? He flew into San Diego. So I took him to Tijuana, right? I took him to Tijuana because he ain't never been. And
Yo,
and I've never driven to Tijuana at that time. Never. I've always like crossed the border, like going through the, whatever. Bruh, we go in there, and the first thing that happens, we get pulled over by the Tijuana police. Yo, it's crazy. So we get pulled over by Tijuana police. So we're in Tijuana in summertime, probably '05. I don't remember the year, maybe '06. I was visiting from Guam. He's visiting from Indiana, and then they pull us over. So the guy, there's two of them. Is a male and a female cop. I promise you, the male cop, the male police, Mexican version of Big Pun. Dead ass. It's a Mexican version of Big Pun. And then there's a female. So me and Seth is out there, and they were like, y'all speeding. Y'all got any drugs? Do you speak English? I mean, do you speak Spanish? They kept asking me, you speak Spanish? I'm like, no, I don't speak Spanish. And then the girl just kept looking at me sideways. And then the dude, they just didn't believe that I didn't speak Spanish. And they were like, they're hitting us with some BS stuff like, y'all was speeding, y'all got any drugs? Where y'all coming from? Blah, 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 blah. So the Big Pun dude just kind of like manhandles Seth, just push him in the thing and then searches him like, like just all up in his
right.
crevices and stuff. And then the female like barely patting me, like, and he was like, why you get the female? Like I remember Seth like looking at me, like he's
He's
like
hammed
hammed
up.
up. Yeah. And he's looking at me, he got glad he looking at me like, you see what's happening to me? And then he's blaming me, kind of like what you were doing, kind of like what Saddam's doing. And then the female was like very soft on me. I'm like, yeah, she thought I spoke Spanish and I was lying about it, right? But anyways, at the end of the things, they was like, yo, y'all about to go to jail, right? They was making up some bogus charges. I don't even remember it, right? Either we were speeding or there was something wrong with our documents, whatever. They was like, y'all about to go to jail, but if you give us $200, $100 each, we'll let you slide. That's what this is no lie. I'm like, okay. So we go to the gas station. I get 200, I give him 100 each, and then we dip out. And Seth's still pissed the whole time we're driving out of there, right? And I'm like, yo, you just got a great life experience, man. You're welcome. But yeah, unnecessary risk. I don't know why we drove down there. We could have just took the trolley and like walked by, because they do that, right? They look for Americans and
Of course.
they kind of like, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Party
So
out.
yeah, man, that was a crazy time in South Carolina in the late '90s. And what made me think about that recently was we was driving from Florida, and I had back here to Virginia, and I had to drive through South Carolina, and it just brought back memories, the same
Bro,
scenery and
you
everything.
should go back to that Waffle House and go get something to eat there.
Bro, what city was we in?
Bro,
What town
like,
was
I
we in?
just remember it being pitch dark, bro. It was
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
I seen just that one light at the gas station, and all of a sudden I see a Waffle House right across the street. Like it wasn't supposed to be there.
yeah,
I said,
yeah, yeah.
"Damn, bro.
Yeah, it was good.
Nah,
It was a good
you
time.
traumatized me for life about Waffle House.
Nah, that's
You
still my
know, I
go-to.
hate the
I mean, I
Waffle
ain't been in
House.
a minute, but I still get the same thing, All-Star Special, bacon extra crispy. The only place I eat pork, bro, Waffle House. But yeah, man.
The
So
Doogie Brothers, y'all. The Doogie
the
Brothers, bro.
is it the Doobie? Doobie, right? That's what she said, Doobie Brothers? And
Doobie or Doogie? I don't know. One of them.
yo, did she look at us like she felt bad for us, like she was warning us, or she looked at us
Nah,
like we were
nah, nah, nah. She was like, she, to me, the vibe I got was like, I don't want you guys here. Now, if you guys are going to stay here, I'm going to have to call some people to get you guys up out of here. That's the
so
vibe I got.
you felt like she called them.
Hell yeah, she called them. Hell yeah. Bro, I felt the red
Yeah, yeah,
flags. This shit was in my stomach.
she did get on the phone, like, right kinda like right in front of me, and I did
Bro,
hear, like, I did hear her say, "The Doobie Brothers are coming, da 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 da." I was like, "Doobie Brothers?"
and the message was all the same from all of them. You guys are not welcome here. Get out.
Yeah, if they would've came in like 5, 6, we'd have been good. Bro, they
Yeah,
came in like 6, 7, 300, like,
prison,
straight out of
prison,
prison.
prison tattoos. I'm like,
Yo
yo, come on, bro. Like,
like, they came in
we
I'm
didn't
like,
hit the
"Why?"
waist like that yet. We didn't even hit the
Yo,
waist like that yet. We was 18. We was scrawny. You know what I'm saying?
yo
I had one little tattoo right here, scrawny. I said, bro, these dudes are, man,
yo, if they would've came in
bro.
little,
They
I'd
was
be like,
looking at
"Ah, we
us like
good." They
barbecue
came
chicken.
in yeah, yo, they came in it was big, man. I remember too, those 2 came in like they were coming like they came in like this, like grilling. Like, "Damn, bro, I'm just trying to get some all-star special."
I was like, y'all can have it, bro. Hey, scratch my order. We out.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That
Man.
was a good times though, man. We got
Yeah, yeah.
it was one of my most memorable
That was
summer.
crazy, man. Yeah, and then yeah, it was a good so we didn't even obviously, we didn't stay in South Carolina, it didn't work out. Like, we was in Myrtle Beach maybe a few days,
And
and
then
then we
we
had
ended
to
up
go to
in
North
Camp Lejeune, North
we'll
Carolina.
talk about North Carolina another time,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
But yeah, yeah, but it was cool, man, it was good. It was crazy. I mean, it was the feeling was eerie while you was in there, and then, like, straight out the horror movies, kinda like, when you're anticipating something to happen, like, you're just watching the horror movie, like, "What's about to happen? Let me get the hell out of here." It kicked in a little bit later for me than you kinda caught it instantly. For
Nah, I
me,
felt bad from the jump. I
it
knew what
wasn't
time it
until yeah,
was.
yeah, it wasn't until them big dudes walked in, like they wanted to kill us, right? I still remember the big pickup truck. I think it was green. I think it was,
Yep,
like,
yep.
rusted green. You know what I'm saying? And then, and I don't even know if probably Ford. And then, I remember the shotgun. All
Shotgun, yep,
like the quintessential stereotypical like redneck pickup truck and
yep. In the South.
loud. Yeah, yeah, loud. But yeah, man, good times, man. Good times. Let's do it again.
Are we gonna do it again?